Ladies and gentlemen, we are in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest
Go,
stage,
baby.
the
Let's
only
go.
platform where figuratively and literally all wrestling matters. And there's no better person you might want to say that's the
But
law and order
Juggalo
of
lives
all
don't
wrestling
matter,
matters.
Brian
And
White.
boy, does he have a lot to say, especially when it comes to, I don't know, so many different colleagues that have come on this platform of his who've certainly fired shots, but something tells me they're going to be firing blanks when the sergeant and the law and order of pro wrestling has a few things to say about those
Aha.
things. Plus, he's going to talk about a match upcoming where his opponent tomorrow might be buried, let's say, in a pits of hell. Plus, he's going to address what happened there at IWA Deep South and what he did to Hardcore a few months ago, and maybe winning that Crave case in GTS. Plus, maybe some other places you might see him, and who knows whatever else he wants to say. Plus, I'm going to have an announcement
Gross.
for him, and I'm going to give him something because, after all, I feel like I need to be able to continue to worship him and say everything, all that he needs to hear. And I might even bring up some things that have been going on in Pro Wrestling Venom, and I might have some things else that who knows, whatever else. There is no better way to kick this weekend off. There is no better person to be here with on a Friday night where the only platform that figuratively and literally all wrestling matters, and a man you might want to say is one of the reasons why we are here talking about all wrestling matters. I know he's been here before. He's gotten this introduction so many other times, but I feel it's most important, most special in a Friday night in prime time that we get the chance to give him that introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know that so many of his colleagues are going to be here in a few minutes. So let's give him that introduction because he's waiting for it. And most importantly, I'm waiting for it. I know people in this chat are waiting for it. So let's get right to it here on Sportswire Radio. So with wait for further ado here on the Sports Report.
That was great. Oh, you're not done.
Number one. Global Sports Show. The
You hear this,
Sergeant,
Kato? You hear this,
the Law and
Kato?
Order of pro wrestling. None other than, simply put, Sergeant J.
Hear this, JB? Music to my ears. Music to my ears. Music to my ears.
Controversy. Thank you, Jimmy.
Can I do
Jimmy,
it?
how you doing?
Controversy. Let me say it one more time, Kato, so you know the word controversy.
I'll even do it for you.
There we go.
Controversy.
There we go, Kato.
Jimmy Controversy.
Hope him and his
Long
wife
time
hear
no
this.
speak. How are you doing tonight in prime time?
I am doing spectacular right now in prime time. It is the night before probably one of the most brutal fights that I'm going to be in my entire 10-year career. Tomorrow at UWF in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's pits of hell.
You know, Jimmy,
Against you, against a guy who is coming out of Williamstown, New Jersey, the H2O building, and I have nothing but respect for those at H2O. I have nothing but love for those at H2O. You know, whoever I cross paths with, I will deal with them, you know, personally in the ring. But JB Anderson, I laid out the challenge. I gave you the choice ultimately to pick the stipulation. to
Mm-hmm.
pick the type of match, and you chose Pits of Hell. So hook, line, and sinker. And I hope you invited JB Anderson
Well, you
on
know
the
what? You might
podcast.
get your wish because in a few minutes you might be getting a guest. You might be getting a few guests, but your wish might
A
be your
few,
command in a few minutes. Yeah, a few
a
guests,
few.
but one guest in particular. You just mentioned. I want to ask you this question though. Pits of Hell. I mean, not concerned at all. After 2 weeks ago, going 23 minutes with Tarzan Duran,
23 minutes with the Tarzanian devil, Tarzan
a
Duran,
living
in
legend.
the rain, in the pouring rain at Irish Eyes Pub in Philadelphia. Anything could happen in Philadelphia, in the in the city of Philly. Anything can happen, man. Philly's basically underwater, dude. But it's known for the ultra violence. It's known for the hardcore style, and uh, to have a proper match at in Philly. I've had last time I was there was Mania weekend.
Defeated Hardcore
Uh,
there, if I'm not mistaken.
Defeated Hardcore. The night before that was the Eat the Turnbuckle Bloodbath Rumble,
And if I'm not
which
mistaken, when you beat Hardcore, you were saying that WrestleMania weekend is your weekend. You were saying
it
it was
was
your weekend
indeed
after you won that match.
my weekend. It was indeed my weekend. It was also indeed Necro Butcher's weekend, the MAGA Butcher, because we were
Yes.
out there together at Eat the Turnbuckle at Schlack's show, Raising Hell. Everything was good until, of course, Tarzan gave me that power bomb, and fucking, Lou Nixon broke the Trump flag, which Necro is happy
I
that the
guess
flag
make
was.
flags great again, huh?
The flag was saved. It wasn't, the flagpole wasn't, but it was an honor to accompany Necro into that pit, and it was an honor to be part of history. That's on the that did make the U.S. Sun, as a matter of fact. And then yeah, seeing Hardcore twice that weekend, not once but twice, and
You got payback from January at TF Crew.
beating him to shit. Beating him to shit. And then of course I saw him again at fucking POR, and then I saw him again at TF Crew,
Look,
and
I'm sure you'll see him again and again and again and again and
oh yeah.
again.
And listen, when I laid down the challenge to Hardcore at TF Crew, none other than Chuck Stein got in my face like,
Oh,
who what are
that's
you,
a
a
name
park
I know.
ranger or something? With his blue hair.
Well, we're going to obviously see the show here coming up tomorrow. $20 doors at 6 o'clock start time and
Yes.
7 o'clock, and it's at Kensington Avenue at the Palace. So make
Kensington
sure
Avenue at the Palace.
you're going to see a lot of friends of the show, obviously, there. Mikey Anarchy's
Yeah.
Wrestling Obey. My buddy Jake Dvorak is making his debut in the UWF against Justin Abel Sane. There's a 10-year relationship there between those two, and it's teacher versus student. I'm sure Gabe
Unbelievable.
Sayers is going to be in the house. And
He will
yeah,
be. It's going to be an unbelievable,
well, let me ask you,
unbelievable
though,
night. Look at
before
the
I grant.
bands that are performing too.
Oh, I know a lot of great bands. Yeah, I saw that. A lot of music,
You
especially
got
underground.
Drag You Under, which they're based out of Delaware. They're phenomenal. And then I'm keeping my eye on that Uncivilized championship match, because I never got my rematch for the Uncivilized championship. He sacked
Now
me with
you know.
Hardcore. Fatality
Now,
sacked me with Hardcore when I returned to UWF after
mhm.
losing power and control to Venom. So
Well, I'll certainly come back to that. But Jimmy, I want to ask you if you wanted to say something particular to Mr. JB Anderson, what would you want to say to him?
JB Anderson, I know you're pointing out the fact that not a lot of people locally like me. You got a plethora of messages saying, uh, beat up Jimmy, or kick Jimmy's ass, or beat the fuck out of this dude, or I'll send you my mask if you kill him, or I'll send you merchandise, I'll send you money, this, that, the other thing, fans, colleagues, foes, anybody, everybody's message, everybody and their mother messaged the hardcore hoochie daddy, and especially the deathmatch community, of course, those in deathmatch only. But and of course, a bunch of other guys that I'm not really going to say their names because they really don't deserve it. But I'd much rather. I'm the kind of guy that would much rather be hated for who I am than loved for what I'm not.
Mm.
And JB, I see this as the opportunity that I've waited and worked my entire career for. I'm finally getting it, and you know, pits of hell. There's no better matchup than pits of hell to make a name for myself and show everybody why that I belong in the business. I might have made mistakes. I might not be the most likable guy in wrestling, but brother, I busted my ass, and to see opportunities slide away from me or to not get opportunities, I'm not just going to sit back and smile about it, JB.
Mm. Well,
You
you know
know.
what, Jimmy? You mentioned Mr. Anderson, the hardcore hoochie daddy, and
Yes.
your wish is my command because right now, live, for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only
Yeah,
platform where
bring
all
him
wrestling
on.
matters. Mr. Anderson is here, and
It's
how you
nice to finally see you, JB.
how you
What
doing,
is
sir?
good?
Nice to meet you. You
What is
obviously
good?
Jimmy has asked for it, and I give you the floor now.
No, I'm just I got a few minutes to kill talking about this knucklehead calling me out. It's all good. I'm all about fighting and I'm all about proving myself. So I totally understand you're in the same boat, my dude.
Me too,
So
bro. Yep.
I'm bringing pits of hell. I said that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do one of these matches since I saw Messiah and Supreme do one. So why the hell not do it against you?
Why the hell not? Why the hell not?
So, JB, let me ask you a question then. How big of a match is this for you then tomorrow?
Anytime I'm in a new place and I'm working a new person, they're all big. So they're all big matches in my opinion.
How big of a win would this be tomorrow, Pits of Hell, for you?
Be a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Say we're like, I've got a couple big wins over other people in my career so far.
You have.
This will be another one.
You have. But here's the thing, JB. I want to get your hopes up, buddy. I want to get your hopes up, pal. Because this going into tomorrow night, I'm going in with a purpose. I'm going in to make a statement. I'm going in to show my passion. The passion that you talk about, that you brought up, the passion that everybody shares, that goes beyond 3 letters, JB. So not only is this going to be, as the Sarge would put it, a violent incarceration for the Hoochie Daddy, it's also going to be justice for controversy, because I've sat on my ass and busted my ass waiting for an opportunity like this. And when I came to your neck of the woods a couple months ago, I kind of more or less was treated unfairly. First time being back there in 8 years. So I got something to prove. I got
Okay.
something to prove. And
I
I
mean
and I will
that
I
has nothing to
will
do with me. Hold
I
on one second. I'm in a bad part of town. Hold on.
This is
brother.
the second time in 2
You
days
think
I've had to
you think we're in the bad parts of town, man? Philadelphia in the
Sorry.
pits of
I'm gonna need
hell,
one of
the
those for
ninth
you
circle.
tomorrow. No, it's being the wrong side of PG County. That's what it is. Anyway,
Ah,
so what I was about to say, dude, whatever you not being there in the last 8 years or whatever, that has nothing to do with me because I've only been there for a year and a half. So whatever squabbles you got with them, that ain't on me. Now,
Nothing at
tomorrow,
all. It's just I kind of got left in the shuffle, and I'm a little bit well.
I hear
JB,
that.
let me ask you a question, JB. You talked about obviously you making your debut here in the UWF. Jimmy's talked about the uncivilized title he has on the sites. He's obviously had some wins here recently in the UWF, and he just wrestled Tarzan Duran. So they
Mhm.
always say the most important thing is a first impression. How big of it is it for you tomorrow to make that first impression, especially going into a place that you haven't wrestled in before?
I feel like anytime I step into a place I've never been in, like I'm bringing a different energy than anyone else. I'm bringing a different formula of violence than I think anyone else is. So tomorrow, you're going to get to see me demonstrate my particular style of violence when I walk into that ring.
And could that be at your expense, Jimmy? Because the hardcore hoochie daddy's basically got a lot to prove, first impressions, and he'd like to set an
Well, it'll
example
be
of
at
what
my expense, but no offense, dude, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass, especially you adding fuel to the fire with all those comments from those keyboard warriors who mean nothing in my
Hey,
life.
I'm just spreading the word. That's all that is, brother.
Go ahead, spread the word. Spread the word, JB. Spread the word. Because the word's going to be pits of hell. The word is going to be ultra violence in Philadelphia tomorrow. And hey, I'm not well liked in UWF, bro. I'm not well liked in UW. I'm still owed an uncivilized title rematch. Yes, I was former uncivilized champion.
Well, if you make it to that match after tomorrow, then by all means, I hope you're the best. I don't know if there's some clause where if I make it where you can't walk, I get the opportunity. It would be dope if it was. I got the night off the next day, so why the hell not?
Let me ask you guys this quick. I know you're out, JB, and I know Jimmy's here with us, and I have a bunch of things to get through. So let me ask you guys each this. I'm going to give the opportunity for you, Jimmy, to ask JB one or two things, and I'm going to conversely let JB do the same thing. So, Jimmy, I'm going to give you the floor first. Is there one or two final things that you'd like to ask or say to JB, and then I'll let JB have the floor.
What are your last words
Oh,
before coming face to face with the law and order of ultraviolence?
Oh,
What are
easy.
what are your last
ACAB.
words? What are your last words before coming face to face with the guy who's been robbed of opportunities for 10 years, who's been around since the age of 16 years old? Maybe not with the right group of people.
Well, to be fair, there are a lot of guys that come on this
Because
platform
you,
and listen that
because
talk
let
about
me
you
tell
for
you
10 years.
something.
Yep.
This dude right here is blessed. The hardcore hoochie daddy. You don't know how. You may know how lucky you are to
Oh,
be
I
around.
definitely, it does
Uh,
not fall on deaf
around
ears.
a
I'm a lucky
good group,
motherfucker.
a great group of a great group of people. H2O, Matt Tremont, who I have nothing but respect for, nothing but love for. I know the guy 100%, and yeah, when I was there, Jesus, it was something else. Last time I was there, up until last month where I did that whole thing with GQ attacking me, which I'll deal with that mother. Oh my God. But yeah, that's all I got to ask. What are those last words?
Fuck
Mm.
the law is those last words.
And okay, hoochie daddy, okay. And what was your impression when you saw me face to face at TF Crew?
Ooh.
TF crew? Oh, my
Yeah.
That
impression
was last
was
month. Yep.
I'm going to fight this dude one day, not in an aggressive or a fuck you way, but once in a while, you kind of come across people that all right, it's going to be me and him in there at some point, and we're going to do the dance.
Oh yeah. All right. JB, I'll see you tomorrow, pal.
All right, my friend JB, it's obviously a pleasure to have you. We'll certainly see what happens after this Pits of Hell match, and you're welcome anytime on the platform, and we definitely hope to see you soon.
Oh, can I
Appreciate
have
it.
a third for him?
A
Explain
third? All right,
what
Oh,
cool.
pits of.
well,
I
Jimmy,
want
you are the
because
sergeant in
I
the
want
law of the
him to
land, but go ahead.
explain.
A genie
I
gives
want
three
him
wishes.
to
Why the fuck not?
explain. I want him to explain what pits of hell is because I've explained it to a lot of people so many times this week. I want you in your own words to explain this match and how brutal it is and what it is.
All right, pits of hell, two big ass pits full of awful bullshit that I'm going to throw you into until you can't stand up again. That's pits of hell.
He just
Well, that
see
sounds pretty much straight
he
to the
just
point.
explained his own demise.
Well, we'll have to see, and obviously it's a great pleasure to have you here, Mr. Anderson. You are certainly the hardcore hoochie daddy for a reason, and we want people to follow the UWF, and we'll see you soon and hope to have you on after the match.
Hell yeah, man. Yo, Jimmy, tomorrow, bring your working boots. We're going to be running around.
Ooh.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
All right, that was Mr. JB Anderson, the hardcore hoochie daddy. We'll take this off the screen. And
did he just flip me off?
I took him off the screen. That's why I did that. We're in prime time.
Okay.
We're in prime time. The brightest lights. Yeah, I took him off the stage.
We are in prime time, man. Hey, listen. It's pits of hell. You know, there's a lot of tension rising in this.
I can see it. We're in the middle of a heat wave right now across the country, and we're adding with that with more fuel to the fire.
This is going to be a heat wave.
I got a lot of comments. I want to get to people before I get to some other topics of business. I want to say hello to Zilla, who's our resident bot on Sportswire Radio, who just basically repeats the same things over and over. Soldier GP, who was just a huge part of things over in Bremen, Ohio, in Summer Bash, says hello to you. I want to say hello to my buddy not too far away from the UWF, Mr. Aaron Blaze, the man I'm wearing a shirt of right now. He would like to say hello. And also want to say hello to my friend, Mr. Joshua Allen, of course, of TBW, the owner and founder. Wants to say hello. He also wants to say thanks. Also want to say hello to Mr. Big Man Cam. Big Man Cam's a TikTok influencer. He's as big as Bigfoot, and he's a double champion, and wants to say, what's up, Jimmy? And also wants to say that he's a dream opponent that keeps in mind to who goes to travel, so that when
you're a TikToker, come down to GTS and see, man.
Well, I think he's been trying because he's like 6'17" and he's got like a size 30 shoe, and he's a big TikTok influencer, and apparently he's apparently friends with this guy that you might have seen before in WWE named Top Dollar, and he's AJ Francis.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's really good friends with him.
Big man Cam. Yeah, you know what? Grim wanted to bring Top Dollar to GTS at one point. That would be dope.
Well, this guy would be pretty dope too because he's friends with him.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see. Maybe.
And he says he's been trying. He says he's been trying, and he's not too far away. He lives in Marion, Ohio, so he can get to GTS.
Okay.
Yeah. He's big, and if you need some enforcement,
Ohio, where the Gathering of Juggalos is going to be. I'll be there the first 2 days.
Well, I'm sure he'd love to be there. Also want to say hello to my buddy who's a big fan of yours, Mr. Alan Michaels, the trendsetter. What's going on, guys?
What's up, Alan?
And good news for you is he's got Mr. Top Dollar's fee and his booking information, so he can certainly help you.
Wow.
And I want to say hello to one of my buddies who's making his debut in UWF, Mr. Jake Dvorak. Obviously, who's going to be there tomorrow against Justin Abel Sane. And obviously, he'd like to say hello and look forward to you meeting him in the locker room. I know you probably saw him.
This guy's making his UWF debut?
Yeah, and but you probably met him at the TF Cruise show last month.
Oh, that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope.
You met him there, but
yeah, I met Jake. I met Jake at the TF Cruise
Jake is actually running some. I'm surprised you weren't. Actually, if you don't mind, Jake is actually created something called this All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. It's out in his neck of the woods, Worcester, Massachusetts. And I was wondering, Kato and Mac 10 were invited to this.
Let's talk about Kato, the controversial one, who's been around.
He's been here many times in sports.
I'm going to say to his credit, he's been around for a long ass time. A long ass time. And I'll say something good about him. The dude loves his wife. The dude's a family man.
You're taking a different route than Mackie Boy did, I see.
But here's the thing. Well, Mac is Mac.
Yeah, I'm well aware. He's my landlord of Sportswire Radio. I know.
Mac, 90% of the time, the Mountain Dew's talking.
He hasn't had Mountain Dew most recent appearance on Sportswire Radio.
But Kato, you call yourself the controversial one. You ever hear the saying that if it makes it to the surface first, like TV or something like a platform that has like 2 million subscribers, like GTS, that I had a key in building.
You did. And you did wrestle this guy, Tommy Dreamer. So I mean,
someone owns the word. Someone owns the word.
You've definitely done some big things. They're very, very big things.
Not wrestle, blew him up.
What if I were to tell you that if Kato was lurking somewhere and that he decided that he wanted to address you?
Why would I be surprised? Because
everybody wants to make a name.
Didn't say it.
It's funny,
he didn't
Jimmy,
say it to my face.
But it's funny.
He should have said it to my face, man.
Before I do something that I think I'm gonna do, it's funny. Everybody on this platform they make sure to mention your name. It doesn't matter who it is. They always want to say Jimmy Controversy because your name is a name. It's a household name. I mean, you're one of the more well-known guys around in this circuit, in this sport. That's why everybody, they can say what they want to say, play what they want to play, dance how they want to talk how they want to talk, sing how they want to sing. It doesn't matter. But they always want to say the name Jimmy Controversy. So what does that tell you, sir, about your name? And for whatever reason, people want to certainly become famous.
It tells me that, that tells me that I just made a positive impact on doing what I love to do.
But they can't make a name for
doing what I
themselves,
love to
maybe
do.
some would say. Maybe they can't make a name for themselves.
If you try real hard in anything, you could definitely make a name for yourself.
Well, if you
could definitely make a name for yourself.
Only if you insist. I think I have a controversial one that might want to say hello to you.
I looked up to guys like Necro Butcher. I looked up to guys like Wife Beater, like Rob Black, all those guys who were underdogs. And before he screwed me over, like even Dirty Ron, man. Wow. Man, that guy was before bringing him into Venom, man, he was my best friend at one point. And,
well, you know what, Jimmy, I think it's time for me to bring this
took my company from
onto the platform. He wants to say something.
Let's bring him in so he can say it face to face.
Cato, you got your wish. Your wish
there
is and happy Friday, my friend.
There he is.
Happy Friday.
Hey, Naomi, how you doing? Happy Friday.
You see, Jimmy, I respect you. I love everything you've done in this business. As far
Same with you.
As far as hardcore and deathmatch, I mention your name because we're similar. We're similar. But the only difference between me and you is I got these two bright and shiny things, and you don't have nothing right now. So here's the challenge.
Oh, I did at one point.
And I said it plenty of times. I'll challenge you anytime, anywhere, any show, just to see who the real controversial one will win.
My man, my brother, from one controversial one to another, I accept. And you know what? Maybe if I got nothing better to do, I hear you're going to be in the East Coast in August.
Yeah.
So you're coming you're coming around to controversy territory, and I'm talking Jimmy Controversy territory.
So
you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to enter a tournament up north where
Massachusetts, Worcester.
I'm hungry in Massachusetts. We're really close to Jersey. Really close to Jersey.
If it ain't too far from you, why don't you just come on down? We'll see what's up. I'm entering that tournament. I'm going to win that tournament.
Oh, for IWA, I'm coming on down because I know your ass is going to be there.
Well, you got unfinished business in IWA Deep South, especially after what Brian White said on this platform a while ago.
Yeah, but at least this guy ain't a juggalo. He just goes around. He just goes around saying he's the controversial one.
Oh, so do you want him to change his name, his name title?
In front of the guy whose last name is Controversy.
You're controversy. That's cool, but I'm controversial.
That's actually true. I've actually had him here a lot recently.
Both the same meaning, my brother. Both the same meaning.
Little twists.
Both the same meaning.
You see, Jimmy, I back up what I got to say. I told you at Deep South I want to work you, and that's no lie. I want to work with you.
I do.
But I'm also going to tell you this. I'm going to give you the hardest fight of your life. I fight for my name.
I've seen what you've done to Mac 10. I've seen you and Mac 10 go to war. And trust me, Mac 10 is no cakewalk, bro. None. He is no cakewalk. I have yet I have yet to get a victory over Mac 10. Maybe I came close at Resurrection, bro, but I have yet to go against that guy and get a victory. But I kind of want to put that aside to go against you, Kato. I kind of want to put all of that aside to go against you. And I'm waiting. I hope you get confirmed for the Carnage Cup before even I do. Because it's going to motivate me to want to be in that even more and motivate me to get my redemption even more. Because even though I was in a match against two guys that I look up to like crazy.
Your wish is your command. Say his name, he appears, like Joe Hendry. The deathmatch werewolf is here and the resident landlord of Sportswire Radio. Say his name, he appears.
And I was just talking about Carnage Cup Mac 10.
I
kind of got embarrassed last year and kind of want to get a chance to redeem myself. And against the controversial one would be sure as hell a brutal one.
Mac,
now,
you think we can put our stuff aside, Mac, and let me concentrate on this fool, and then we'll come back to each other?
Well, who's the fool?
Well, they have some beef in Resurrection.
Mountain Dew Boy?
Well, he didn't have a Mountain Dew on Tuesday's show, actually. Are you drinking Mountain Dew now?
No.
No.
Mr. Insurance Policy, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah, you're not an insurance policy. You never are.
You're damn right I ain't.
That's why you lose everything that you're in. And just like you were saying, and just like you said at the end of our match last time you were at Resurrection, you offered me a chance to come to Pro Wrestling Venom.
Yes, he did.
I did.
Are you sure you're still up for that?
That offer still stands. I don't care if I'm in charge or not. Bro, I will bypass that ginger clown Dirty Ron and get that opportunity to kick your ass.
Well,
not only that.
I did hear down the grapevine that you were having a show the 25th.
The 25th?
Is that true? The 25th of August?
24th.
25th might be a UWF show, but I do hear the 24th, y'all will be up here in Massachusetts. So
yeah, right here, as a matter of fact, the landlord of Sportswire Radio is going to be wrestling in that All Wrestling Matters.
All Wrestling Matters. And
yep.
You know what? All Wrestling Matters. You might have somebody else gracing your presence that night.
What do you mean?
Oh.
Because you
see, to God it's not your ass.
I don't think it's your roommate either, man.
But one thing's for sure is nothing's for sure.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy, you show up. I'll be the first one you have to try to contest with.
Oh, certainly.
And let me just say, you said yourself you have not beat Mac 10 not once. Well, guess who did? This guy right here. If you can't beat Mac 10, how are you going to beat someone that can beat him?
She's got a point.
Just saying.
Ooh, it's getting rather bumpy here. I thought you and
Again, Kato, you're letting that Jezebel get involved in everything you do, and it's messed up.
You know at that point, I drove my ass down to Memphis out of disgrace to myself that I lost control over Pro Wrestling Venom because it was taken under the rug from me. It was taken from me by a dirty clown. So my head wasn't in the right place, okay? My head wasn't in the right place, all right? You could hold those two belts without a care in the world while he does all the work.
All right, hold on. Wait a second. I have an idea. We do have the Revenge Rumble coming up.
Yep, July 27th, 2 weeks from tomorrow.
But I believe in August we are going to be having Deadly Collision.
I have heard about that.
When?
I think it's the last weekend of the month.
Oh, that
So
would
if there's
sound like
if there's any way that you can turn around and drive down here, fly back down here, Cato, there's a stipulation I'm going to throw up. And
Okay.
Jimmy's already been in one. You and Jimmy in the Toy Box Death Match. Toy Box Death Match 2.
Oh, I think I remember that one from last year. We're gonna have a sequel.
We will have
anything
a
like the
sequel
first.
to
This
the
is gonna
Toy
be
Box
unbelievable.
Deathmatch. What do you think about that?
Fine. Game on. Game
All
on.
right. All right. I'm gonna check my schedule.
You see, I'm a crazy son of a bitch, and I like all kinds of weapons.
You are the
So
controversial one,
Me
after all.
too.
put me in, and I'll sign the dotted line, and we'll make it official.
Well, you are similar to the Juggalos in the case that, you know, you are going to be signing your warrant.
Jimmy. We're not going there, buddy.
Against the Sarge.
Oh, against the Sarge.
Against the, should I say, more known controversial one.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
I might put a twist on this.
Oh, you might.
It might be a toy box. I do know for a fact it's going to be a toy box death match.
He's gonna get himself.
But
into
to
this
win the
match.
toy box death match this year, you got to put your opponent in the back seat of a cop car.
What? Well, boy, that certainly changes things a little bit, don't you think?
You know what?
No. Because
No, why
his
not?
ass is
No,
finally
you're
going to
backing
get
out
what
now?
comes. No. I didn't back out. I said no, because your ass is going to get locked up and finally thrown in the back of your own cage.
Okay.
Boy.
Okay. We'll see about that. Hey, for all I know, y'all will both back out after y'all see what I'm going to do to JB Anderson tomorrow night.
The hardcore hoochie daddy won't be much of a hoochie daddy much longer.
JB's
There's
going to
really
whoop your
no way
ass
out because I'll
and
keep
so on
chasing
and
y'all.
so forth.
I will keep chasing. Because like I said before, I had 2 belts at one point. I had the Pro Wrestling Venom Championship. I had the Uncivilized Championship. I had my own company. And it was all
But
taken
now
away
you
from
have
me.
nothing.
And I'm not going to sit here and smile about it.
Well, he's got the hardcore hoochie daddy JB Anderson tomorrow. That's what he's got.
That's what I got. An opportunity back in the fold.
I'm going to leave you with this.
Okay.
It's game on. Challenge accepted. Mac, let's get it official. Me versus Jimmy, Toy Box Death Match.
And that's at Resurrection Wrestling coming up, Deadly Collision, August 31st.
Yep.
We'll see.
Ooh, boy, did it just get interesting. And Cato, we'll definitely see you, I'm sure, before then. And Mac, you want to say anything else before we let you guys go and say goodbye?
No, I'm good.
Oh, you good? You quiet?
Oh, wait. Just 1 second. Jimmy?
What is it,
I'll
Mac?
be seeing you at Venom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and see you later, Cato. Jimmy, what
both
just
left.
happened there? They left.
They
left.
left.
They came and went. But
you know what? They had the guts to get on here and say it to my face. But it's a little easier when you're hiding behind a computer screen. To be honest.
So are you saying that Cato and Mac 10 are keyboard warriors?
I'm not saying that at all. I know what both of them are capable of. I 100% I know what they're capable of. I know what Mac 10's capable of. I've been through it firsthand, man.
Well,
listen, from the Memphis street fight, the Memphis 2 out of 3 falls, Memphis death match.
Yep.
A scar right here that
Oof.
literally sliced me open with
I
Mac
think that's
10
worse
throwing
than the
me into the tube.
controversion chants they've been having at certain shows. You for whatever reason they've been saying controversion. I don't know why they're
Yeah,
saying
well,
that.
that's all grim. That's all grim bullshit. You know.
But speaking of that, real quick before I get to comments, you won the Craves case.
I won the Crave case, and that I was booked in at GTS Clash at the White Castle
last month. Last month.
Here's the thing, Grim. Grim's kind of back to his old bad habits.
Yeah, he's had a lot
with,
of trouble in his own right. I mean,
ruining a marriage again because he's buddying up to some girl named Lisi, who is now the business manager, and she is just, listen, she makes Naomi a saint. I'm telling you right
I
now.
would have to. Listen. I mean,
She
definitely.
she makes Naomi a saint. This girl. Oh my God. You know, one of those corrupt.
Well, to quote
Those
Danzig,
corrupt
there's definitely some
authority
twisted
figures
there. Yeah, there's
that
definitely
just act out of
well, those are what you'd call JB work
anger.
problems. Those
That's
are work problems. Grim has got a lot of business problems on his hand, kind of like what you've had. But in a different way. I think it's worse for Grim.
But here's the thing, honestly, when I think about it, and she's calling the shots now. You know, Grim is contradicting himself now, and it's funny because
maybe he's losing a step right now.
He's contradicting himself because he says he's the tribal chef. He says he's head of the buffet table. He says he's the man that runs the yard, that GTS is all about him. He's the main character. But you know who it really is right now, Grim?
It ain't Grim, that's for sure.
It's Lisi.
Lisi's the one that's just taking
someone
over
who
everything.
Just popped up right after Grimmania. This internet TikTok sensation. And no offense to the big man that was just giving me a shout out, that knows Top Dollar and people in WWE. Lisi, who do you know in WWE?
Oh, I think I might potentially. We've heard who she might know, and
who?
Well, they've claimed, this woman.
Peter Kidd was destined to go all the way. He was destined to be the one sitting here on Sportswire Radio. He was destined. Peter Kidd, who she brought back, was destined to be the GTS breakout star. And all high hopes for him. Well, there was another dude that, quite frankly, was scrawny, was, destined to go nowhere. That, we'll put him on GTS and put him through a couple tables, as Grim says. But here's the thing. And my only issue with Peter Kidd, and I love Chris to death, and I personally love Chris to death, because it all started right outside. If you look out my window, right outside, that's where it all started. Yep. And it started with me and Chris, Grim's nephew. It started with me, Grim, and Chris putting me through my first table, and then me putting Chris through his table, through a 20-foot table dive. I do not disregard those days at all. But Chris, you walked away for a long time. I took the ball and ran with it. Grim is the glass ceiling. Grim is making mistake after mistake after mistake, and I kind of, started being cool with him again until Lisi came in the picture, and then I saw what he was doing with Tina. And Tina is somebody who, I know we've had our disagreements, but she genuinely cares about GTS the way she was booking me when she got control over the show, because Lisi wasn't booking me. Lisi owes me money. Lisi owes me matches and stuff. I'm sure if I asked Tina for a YouTube championship match, she'll give it to me.
But do you want that, Jim? Do you want
Because
that?
I earned it because I never got a rematch from the YouTube championship when Hop Grimm's brother cashed in on me
Well, you
at
notice that
last
you're
year's
owed a lot of
SummerSlam.
things. You're owed this title and that
But
title.
I want a champ. But given the fact that I walked away to start my own company, I want the opportunity to earn that. And by that, I got to go through whoever wins this last man standing match at SummerSlam. So I will be at SummerSlam. I will be at SummerSlam before heading out to San Diego for the first Danger Pro Wrestling event against Unico Griffin. I will be at GTS SummerSlam. And whoever wins or whoever comes out of that last man standing match, I will see them there.
And
Because
Jim, I've
right
been
now,
granted official authority from Resurrection Wrestling to show your most recent appearance there, by the way.
yes, Resurrection.
Yes.
And hey, listen, besides all Mac 10 bullshit aside, those guys at Resurrection have been nothing but great to me.
Oh
And
my goodness, Resurrection!
let
I
me
tell
tell
people
you,
all the
they
time.
look up to GTS like crazy.
Oh,
They
and you
look
know what's
up to
funny? You said
GTS
that
like crazy.
everybody in the
All right.
Resurrection locker room.
Lisi, they don't, and Lisi, I know they don't know who you are, of course, but they look up to GTS like crazy. That is what GTS is all about. And it just angers me seeing somebody come in there with, I don't know what kind of intention she has. I don't know. And trying to ruin this, man. Like,
But
you
Grim
know,
obviously doesn't see it. He just obviously he's losing it, Jim. You know, everybody talked about
as
you and your
long as he's
situation.
the main character, man, she's feeding him and feeding him and feeding his ego. Okay, she knows how to exactly because I give Lisi the benefit of the doubt. Lisi's smart. Lisi's
She's
smart.
obviously a
You
good
know,
businesswoman. She's obviously
Lisi is like one of those
she sees the money.
media
She sees the
media
money.
moguls that wants to take over everything. Yeah,
And Grim's ready to give
it
away
was
the store.
a TikTok sensation,
Well,
maybe YouTube, maybe all that. And now it's YouTube, so why
you
not
know,
go
Jim,
after
I
a
gotta
show?
bring up somebody
Multiple
because there's a couple of things I
subscribers.
want to bring up. As we're here, of course, with Jimmy Controversy. We're watching his most recent appearance in Resurrection Wrestling. Jimmy's here for a little while longer. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce.
Yes,
Your
sir.
voice for Little Wrestling Matters. Before I give you something, couple things here. Now, I'm sure you're aware of it. You know, this Skulls. I'm sure you've heard of the name Skulls. He has a comment. And he would like to say something. Good evening, Jimmy. What is going on with Danny from GXWH since we last had talked? So he would like to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is my advice to Skulls is
Yes.
pretty much everybody's advice, and that's get training, man. I know you have a lot of passion for this. I know you love it. And, you know, um, I'm not going to go online and, bash him. I'm not going to do that because I don't believe that. And I'm not going to call him a yarder either because, listen, I've gone through a period of evolution on that phase. We all start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We all start, somewhere. I was gifted to start with I was gifted to have a tremendous break starting on the platform that I did and eventually becoming a pillar of that platform. I was gifted for that. I am blessed to this day for that. And those three letters GTS, I would have
Seventh
never
biggest wrestling company in the world.
ventured.
Number
I
7.
would have, yes, I would have never ventured out to places like, XPW where what is one of my dream promotions, XPW, or I would have never gotten a WWE extra work. I would have never gotten training at WrestlePro if it wasn't for there. And fun fact, Undertaker started out. Undertaker started out in the backyard?
Yes, I
know
actually
that?
did hear him say that.
Did
Yes,
you
I did.
guys know Undertaker started in the backyard?
How about
But
the
the
Hardy
thing
Boys?
is,
Didn't they start out in the backyard? How
of
about
course,
Shane
yeah,
Helms?
Mick Foley's
Mick Foley's
Mick
considered to be the
Foley's
greatest yarder of all time, according to Copper Dragon.
Mick Foley's home video was phenomenal.
Yep.
But here's the
Shannon
thing,
Moore, it's a long list of yarders, sure.
you want you want to go from there and level up. You want to level up because if you're at the same place constantly, it'll eat you up. And then you'll be looking at other guys getting opportunities, getting on platforms like an XPW, getting on platforms like, you know, a TNA or a WWE, and you'll
MLW
be,
even, yep.
yeah, MLW even, you know. And I've been seeing guys like that, and I wanted, and I was leveling up, and then 5 years ago, I hit like a brick wall, and I blame myself too, which I know we're gonna get into that guy in a second, man. But
Oh, I'm gonna get to him. I'm gonna
I
get
want to avoid, and that is what my advice to Skulls is: avoid people like that. Avoid carnies like it's the plague. And when there's an opportunity for training, training is 100. Getting trained by the professionals, going to a school is 100% acquired. This is it. This is 100% required. It's a trade. It is a trade. JB Anderson went to a grade school. H2O, Matt Tremont,
Yes.
they train guys. Yeah. Matt Tremont is a well-known trainer. He is phenomenal.
My friend was trained by Amazing Red. Chris Urban was trained.
To this day go to training every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at CZW, which, you know, Tournament of Death is right around the corner.
Yep.
And I never would have thought I'd be back at CZW because, you know, that was my childhood back in the day. So,
well, you never know.
But in regards to Danny, I don't know. So yeah, I really don't know in regards to Danny, but one of the things Cletus told guys that wanted to get in this, go to a school. It's not that you can't do it. It's the certain amount of respect you will get. It's the kind of respect you will get from guys that have been in the business, such as, like, you know, like reputable guys that you've put in the work and put in the training, you know. And when, you know, you want to be a pilot, you go to flight school. You want to be a mechanic, you go to
I always equated to being an apprentice. I remember my uncle
yeah.
was a carpenter and a painter. You know, he always told me you had to learn.
You want to be a nurse, you go to a nursing school, you know. You learn.
Look, I'm a licensed notary public. I had to take a test to pass
learn this,
my license.
so you build it as a trade. So you go to a school, there's Santino Brothers. Hey, Santino Brothers has connections with a lot of good places.
In Jersey, yep. House of Glory in Queens by me. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Now listen,
oh shit, I thought you lived in Staten Island. You live in Queens.
Do, but I mean, my House of Glory is the one closest by this.
Yeah,
House of Glory is great. But my buddy was trained at a House of Glory.
House of Glory.
Yeah, he was trained out of there. Yeah,
fucking Mac 10 was trained by Brian Lawler.
Yes, he's talked about that here on the platform, and I hope that
first match I've got to see his first ever match. It was a tag match, and it was same shit happened to me. We got the shit beat out of us. They kicked our heads in, forcing us to quit.
Well,
you know,
that's how it goes. You know, listen, I didn't start like this. It took me 5 years to get to this level. And I have a lot of people that want to say hello to you before I give you something and you get to address that one person. Big Man Cam says, if you say you don't need more training at any skill level, you're lying to yourself. You can always learn more.
Always.
Joshua Allen wants to say, I remember when Jimmy was the fan with the Willow mask during the DPS days, during the whole Apple Balls program with Grimm against Brian Myers. Kurt Hawkins.
And that relationship with Grimm and Myers was how I got into WrestlePro in the first place.
Yep. I think Myers is
because I've always wanted to go to Creative Pro and film in the ring with him, but I just wasn't ready for Creative Pro. Grimm said I needed to be trained in a ring, so I said fuck it. I went.
Well, Grimm knows best. A lot of guys started in the yard. I don't understand why indie guys hate on it when they're fully guilty of it himself. But he also says, you're right. This is why I want to venture out. Look at how far I've come in only 6 months.
A lot of indie guys have that mindset where, and these same indie guys are those same guys that, you know, speak out and try to get each other, you know, canceled or buried, or I don't even know what the
big thing in the British scene. It's a major thing in the British scene.
they look at things a certain way. You know, maybe they're jealous of people like Grimm's success, and you know,
He's the number 7 man in the sport of
we're
wrestling. Number 7.
I know we're going to talk about a guy that's going to this, but I'll let you bring it up. And jealous of his success is an
Well,
understatement.
I tell you what, I wouldn't be jealous of his success, because I tell you what, I'd rather be speaking with you right now, Mr. Controversy, because they may call you this pertinently last name with
I'm not
controversy.
jealous of Grimm's success. I contributed to it, and I'm proud of how far Grimm's come. I just don't want to see it collapse. I like I was saying before, I just don't want to see it collapse on him, because you know GTS was home for me, man,
Well,
for a
you know what?
long time.
It's always going to be home for you. And it's always going to be something that you built. You were one of the pillars of that company. You've done so much for us. You've done so much. Yes.
If Lisi, I'm going to be honest with you, man. If Lisi keeps doing what she's doing, it can't be. And I know that will make some people happy. I get it. But those people aren't there half the time or all the time. And that will make people like Tina, who genuinely cares, who just like how Grimm is family, she is family. It will to a degree make make my family not happy, and my mother, who is no longer with us, who was
I'm sorry.
heavily a supporter of Grimm's and who was heavily involved in the production in the early stages of GTS. Not many people know this, but she was one of the made the Money in the Bank pinata for the birthday bashes, contributed all this stuff, like getting tables for us, letting Grimm come into the house and film shit with my figures and all that stuff, you know. Eh, my mother would not be proud of me not being at GTS. She'd be like, "What are you doing?
Well,
Like,
you know,
what are
Jimmy,
you doing?"
we're proud of you, because I do want to put this on the screen, because I wanted to give you something to be proud of, because today is your day
Again.
today, sir. You're getting another day because you've done so much for us, and
There's two Jimmy Controversy days.
you're the first. I wanted to do something special. I wanted you to be the
Oh
first
man,
person.
JBN. No wonder why JB Anderson's got nothing going
The
on tonight.
I wanted you to be the first person in this platform's history to have 2 days on your behalf. That's how
That's
much you mean
crazy.
to all of us. That's
You know
how
what?
much.
I like July 12th, this Jimmy Controversy Day, because JB Anderson's one tough motherfucker. So I may or may not be walking out alive tomorrow. Who knows?
Well, I hope that you will, because I'm going to make it known that permanently every year on this platform, it's always going to be July
Jimmy
12th.
Controversy Day is like a Last Supper day for me, I guess.
Well, let's not say that, Jimmy. Let's not say that. But
Who knows? Who knows? You know, you never know. It could
well,
be the day where it could be the night before, you know, a historical night where I finally get all eyes on me, you know, like I've wanted to. So
I think a lot of people still want to say, and I want to get to them before a few more topics. D'Angelo LaFlame is a man that's traveling like you, and he's traveling the circuit, and he's
that's good. What's up, D'Angelo? Howdy.
He's supposed to have a tryout coming up for Impact Wrestling. I just watched him in Alabama, Iowa. Yep, he's all over the place.
I was just there.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Shout out to Delirious too. I was just there.
Wants to say VWC is starting up a new school and planning on launching by the end of the year. Good.
Go there. Go there. But I do prefer you check out Santino Brothers.
Yes,
Joey
my
Chaos
friend
is
one of my friends, Ishmael Vaughn, was trained out of there in California. So I know the Santino brothers very well. If you're in this business and you don't have people hating you, you're not doing something right.
You hit the nail on the head with that, you know.
Well, that's why Jack Delta knows, and his very good friend is James Fury, a man that you've probably seen quite a bit in the independents.
I'd much rather have a place to I'd much rather have food to eat and a car to drive and a place to sleep than being worried about sleeping at night. You know,
that's always was the word I was told. The famous
because
advice.
if I have a if I have if I have a good place to sleep and food on my table and money in my bank and doing what I love to do and a nice car to drive and somebody like the controversial one has, but my relationships don't last
Well,
long.
I'll put it to you in a more nicer way.
Then
My
I'm sleeping
economics
well.
teacher always said it best. As long as I had a few dollars to eat at the end of the day and a place to live, I was good. I think that's what you're trying to tell us in a nicer way.
Yes.
My original school, I told them I wanted to go to GTS and they berated me for it. They said that, yes, no better than a yarder, and his work was terrible. I wasn't at that school much
No,
longer. That's what he was
dude,
told.
come on,
That's
bro.
what he was told. But, Jim, I do want to let you address something because there was an individual. I don't even want to give this individual a name, but there was some things that
You can
came
say
out.
his name.
I'd rather not give him credit, but there was a name. Let's just say the
No,
company,
say his name and it'll just come to mind.
Rob Fury. Ring a bell?
Fuck Rob Fury.
I don't even want to play the video on the screen.
And I know what it's about. Look, Rob Fury's a. My God.
Are you sure? That's why I don't want to give this individual any credence.
I haven't spoke publicly about him in a long time, and you asked me to say it, and I'll say it. But fuck him. He's a he. Talk about being a mark. He's a mark, man. He was a mark for.
He's a bad man. He's a bad man.
He was a mark. He was a mark for GTS. He was a mark for places like XPW, marking out the Titan, probably marking out to Pro Wrestling Venom. I know he put his foot in his mouth again, brother. He put his foot in his mouth again.
Well, let's just say that he definitely did that, and it's what he said. I do not condone in any way, shape, or form.
No, yeah, but people could pick and choose who they want to vilify and be all nepotism about him. I know a lot of guys are still riding because they need to get
Because
their
guys want
work.
to get booked. They don't want to
need their
lose their spot.
bookings.
It's the usual.
They need their bookings, but there's really nothing much more for me to say about him than he's a con man, bro.
Well, I'll tell
He's
you
a
what. I'm
shady
going to say it for
motherfucker,
you,
man.
Jim. He's a POS. He's
is
a
a
guy
piece of
that I
shit.
wouldn't even give my last breath
Yeah.
to. A guy I
Yeah.
wouldn't even give
Yeah.
a whole my last glass of water
listen,
with bread.
I want to address his when he was, I've heard him say worse, I've heard him do worse. So that audio that was leaked out, it's really no surprising to me, but and
Karma is a fill in the blank.
if y'all are working there, watch out for Fury, man. Make sure you get your money because I'm owed like the last 5 shows. He said he was going to take me to court, I guess, about over something, which is not,
Well, he might be dealing with it
legal,
in a much more worse way than
I don't think the only court case he has is the only court case he has against me is in his own mind, and the only war he's really in is in his own mind because come to think of it, if it wasn't for Grimm, if it wasn't for myself, and if it wasn't for a few others, there would have been none of what was created at that brand while we were there. There would have been none of it. I've had a great relationship with guys there. He has vilified me and threw me under the bus for a lot of stuff. And
now, Jim, people are asked because now all of a sudden the floodgates open. I don't know if I should play this video.
I mean, that's up to you, partner. I'm not. Listen, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say play it. I'm not gonna say don't play it.
I don't know if I play it, I might get literally YouTube might throw me off the air. I don't know if I should play this because I have a feeling that this individual, he said some things. For those that are asking,
listen.
I'll tell you what. For the people that are asking, I'll tell you what. For the people that are asking about the story with Rob Fury, if you message me when we're off the air,
Oof.
I'll send you the video. How about that? Does that sound
Yeah,
fair?
just
To
you know, I love how he called calling we've always had, and it's not the fact that we've had different philosophies about wrestling and stuff, and he calls he's called he's badmouthed Grimm when Grimm was his number one
Well, we
draw,
know the war with GTS and
yeah,
SWF.
bad mouthed. It wasn't so much the war that made that company relevant when the war was going on. It wasn't so much that match. He was so jealous of our success. You can't create something that was created organically like GTS and number one, and you're not going to create it if you're going to be a scumbag and fuck over the people that work for you.
No, there's
You
no
know.
question that.
I
Listen, there's a lot of people.
haven't said this guy's name in I don't know how long, and I haven't even
That's why
seen him until.
I tell you what, for the people again that are asking, like Jack Delta, some other people, I'll send you the video when we're off the air.
But all I want to say is,
Jack Delta wants me to play this video, but I the only reason I have a little bit of a problem playing the video because the things that are said in the video really, I don't know if I could condone them. There's a difference between a loose cannon rap video versus what he said about certain things.
Oh, trust, dude, it was not. Honestly, I've heard it, and it's not the worst thing he said. Trust me.
No, I got that, but I have a responsibility to at least some people.
There's
I do have a lot of people.
We are on prime time after all. But,
I am in prime time, and I actually do have family that watches the show, and I have little kids that watch. So I don't know if I'm comfortable playing the video, even for my taste,
But that's probably the only. This will probably be this is literally going to be the last time and only time he'll ever be mentioned.
Oh, I don't even have any reason to mention.
He's really not really. Yeah, like I said, dude, I told you we can mention it. But
I got no reason.
Relevant anymore.
I've got the guy that's relevant in front of me. I've got the guy that I want to speak with every time, and I'll jump through.
I just see guys like young guys and guys like Skulls. Watch out for guys like Rob Fury. They're shady motherfuckers, and they can be potentially dangerous.
There's a lot of bad people out there.
They are the worst. He is literally, when you talk about someone, just think of the worst person in the world times 10. And
I want to get
it's that guy, to be honest.
I want to get to a few things before we get to a few final thoughts.
Of course.
Fred Anderson wants to say, I used to remember watching you being Grimm's annoying enemy all the way back in 2016. He also wants to say that good to see me. Thank you very much for that. Also, Big Man Cam wants to say that I know you're busy, but I reached out on Messenger. If you have time, I'd like to chat about working together at some point. He is really big.
That would be awesome.
He's like
one more thing. Now that I'm on the subject about it, was that when it came time to take legal actions and stuff, and I was going to sue before. He was going to sue. It was discovered that everything is in his mother. Everything, his bank account, everything's in his mother's name.
Oh my God!
So I wouldn't be taking his house away. I'd be taking his mother's house. It's all with his mother. So then I finally haven't heard from him, and we all
the loser. Then that alone, he's a loser.
Yeah, lives with his mother. That's all you need to know right now. At 40-something years old.
And well, that's here nor there. And let me get to this also.
Definitely, big man. Definitely, big man.
And they want me to play a rap video, but I can't do that in the interest of time. Okay, let me get to a few final things. Where are you going to be next after UWF?
Well, after the 2 UWF shows that are coming up, I'm gonna go on to fight for the Uncivilized Championship, whether it be Anarchy or Obey. I'm gonna keep an eye on that match. And then I will be heading to San Diego for Danger Pro Wrestling to meet up with Judge Joe Dredd.
I was supposed to have, you know what? I got something to say there because Judge Joe Dredd was supposed to be on this show and he canceled because but I got this.
Now, he is hot at XPW right now.
I know that, but I actually have a friend of mine. A friend of mine connected me with Judge Joe Dredd. Judge Joe Dredd was all supposed to be here. Then all of a sudden he realized he was at the Yankees game.
Oh man.
I
So
thought you like that one.
Judge Joe Dredd, his legal counsel Stephen Jury,
Yes.
and a legal US citizen by the name of Inframundo Jr.
Yes.
We are the judiciary. We have created and are going to protect and enforce law and order at Danger Pro Wrestling. And I have been commissioned the 27th. I have been commissioned by Judge Joe Dredd himself as he is fighting Dirty Ron McDonald for the putting his Danger Pro championship on the line, being the humanitarian judge and fighting champion that he is, in a no ropes barbed wire match on a stacked show, the biggest show in San Diego.
Yep.
I have been commissioned that night to take care of the Unico Griffin problem. This guy, Unico Griffin, who wants to cross the border of into Danger Pro Wrestling, the Fist Combat border into the Danger Pro Wrestling border. He wants to come in, cause mischief, shake his maracas around. So I have been commissioned to make sure that guys like Unico Griffin will be where Dirty Ron will be after the 27th, July 27th. And that is behind the border wall of Danger Pro Wrestling.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to that July 27th. I'm looking forward to you tomorrow with JB Anderson. I'm looking forward to you in August with Pro Wrestling Venom. And I'm looking forward to you with...
Yeah, from there, a Pro Wrestling Venom show might occur. I don't have the exact date yet. I might make an appearance in Massachusetts. We have XPW coming up. I go to all the.
Well, I
XPW
think, you know what?
events.
If Cato and Mac could be there in Massachusetts, why not you?
Why don't they come to XPW? Why don't they come to XPW?
That's a good question. I wouldn't be able to answer. I mean, I'm
why
sure
don't they come where the real men fight? From there, there's places, from there, it's all roads lead to, all roads lead, I guess, to, back in Jersey to GTS Sucker Slam. And then we got shows like, Carnage Cup coming up. That's where the big operation's going to be, and a big chance for me to redeem myself.
Yeah. And I got news for you real quick on Carnage Cup. I know we're running short on time, but I actually promised on air when Cato and Mac were going to be here that I actually am going to buy one ticket for somebody to watch one of the days. So hopefully the ticket that I buy for someone actually will
Carnage.
Yep. The 19th to the 21st, and it starts, you can get there the 18th, and it's a whole 3-day thing. And so hopefully whoever gets to go in my place, because obviously I'm in New York, that they can watch you and maybe watch Cato and Mackie. I don't know. Maybe Brian White.
It will be. Oh, so let's close it off with that, because, as somebody that is passionate about the IWA Deep South, and I thrive in an environment like IWA Deep South and XPW. I know that there is a war against them, but Little Sicko and Brian White, I had Brian White beat. There's no way he could have, there is no way in hell Brian White was going to get up from the knee to the neck connection and win that fucking match. Little Sicko had to interfere in that match to help Brian White win.
I saw that. We actually played the match here. Thank you for reminding me.
With 50 other juggalos and their juggalo fucking mothers. All right? So every single juggalo on God's green earth interfered to have one guy lose. So one juggalo could, I don't know, get the last whoop whoop. All right? All right? Well, honestly, it's going to be the Sarge that gets the last whoop whoop. Because guess what? Now I stand by this more than ever, brother. I stand by this more than ever. And little sicko, you didn't say anything to me when you came up to my neck of the woods for XPW. But you have a problem with me? Let's fucking go.
Oh, ladies
All right.
and gentlemen, I can't wait for all of
The
that
Sarge
stuff.
will step on the murder ground and fuck with a wicked clown. All right.
Want to follow Jimmy Controversy? Those are all of his links. And before I go, I want to get to a few more comments. Aaron Blaze said he finished working and he's happy to see you here. He made sure to finish work on time to see you. If you get a few final words, Omen Black would like to say hello to you. He would like to say hello. What's up, Jimmy? D'Angelo, listen, we're not going to play the rap video. If there was a bad rap video with Loose Cannon, we're not going to do it.
Desert Eagle.
It's really bad. I don't want to waste your time. You're a busy man. Brett Anderson wants to share a ring with you one day. You never know. Also, here, Jack Delta versus Silverwolf. I'm not going to bore you with Silverwolf right now. We're not going to go there. You're a very busy man, and I see that Jake and Omen are going back and forth with that. Jack Delta's cracking up, and Jack is a pro, but who's Rob Fury? Like I said, I'll DM you the video.
Like I said, he doesn't deserve it. Like I said,
I don't even want to give him the time of day right now. And James Taylor, ROBW, is hello. By the way, you should connect with James Taylor. He's a TikTok influencer. He's got 83,000 followers on TikTok. So if you ever need help with whatever,
head on over to Instagram, James. Head on over to Instagram.
He's on Instagram, but he's on YouTube with 41,000 followers.
I want to get that. Yeah.
He'll help you with that. He knows how to do it. He's like an influencer, and he owns a wrestling company now. So apparently, he's trying to branch into being like another, I guess, Grimm, and he might be the next Grimm. Who knows? I mean, this guy.
You know what? You never know.
And Omen Black still wants you in the ring. Well, I'll let you think about that, but you never know. Listen, anything's possible. It is his show after all, so I did want to, let him have that opportunity to ask you that question. But Jimmy, I want to give you the floor. I want to give you some closing thoughts. Obviously, I know you got to get ready for tomorrow's big show, Pits of Hell against JB Anderson. And anything else you want to plug, share, or say, my friend? I can't thank you enough.
Head on over to episode of LTW. I did make an appearance there. They're coming up, and I hope to see everybody tomorrow in Philadelphia. Who's going to be around? I hope to see some of my West Coast friends on the West Coast these next couple
Jake
weeks.
Dvorak there again. Justin Abel Sane, I know. Mikey Anarchy and Obey once again.
Stay tuned for an XPW date, I guess.
Okay.
Always head on over to the Rob Black Show and give that a listen. And as he
was
says,
supposed to have done a podcast. I noticed.
As he always says, don't take any wooden nickels.
Well, I'll certainly check my nickels, but I don't think they're wooden. I know you're on a podcast that's going to be out, if it hasn't been already, with a bunch of guys over in the UK. Check that out.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's out.
I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it last night, but I'm sure it's out now. It's out.
Okay, it's out.
I'll listen to
speaking
it
of the UK, tell my buddy Dean Olmark I said hello, and I'm
Dean Olmark actually he's sort of wrestling again. He's kind of doing a little bit of work. I mean, I speak to him from time to time, but he'll be back. But I don't really have anything to talk about with Dean right now, but I do plan to bring him back.
It's all good,
the problem is the UK independent wrestling scene is like dead. It's almost like is dead as like
I wouldn't say that.
Trust me, the scene it's dead, and it's not that
at different companies, and I see the scene. I look at different companies, even though I am a staunch supporter of All Wrestling Matters.
Yes, no, me too. But I mean, in terms of the scene, from where it was. But definitely, I agree with you on that. And we never know. Stay tuned. Jimmy, thank you so much for all that you do for us. I can't
Not
wait
a problem. Thank you for having me.
And this is none other than the man himself, Jimmy freaking Controversy, who's going to be wrestling in less than 24 hours from now at the UWF's latest show, Philadelphia, Kensington Avenue, 4116 Kensington Avenue, against JB Anderson.
I got to go and sharpen the knife board right now.
That's it. We want Jimmy to go do that. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. If you're on Sportswire Radio, I'll see everybody tomorrow at 8 o'clock with Rob O'Malley, also in the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see everybody maybe in a little while. Who knows? Thanks, everybody, and